Name. You can turn your sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt free website into a huge profit. And the fourth team of 2,920 people and the fifth team of 2,920 won $600 bonuses and $400 bonuses, respectively. From the beginning of the blowout sale to the present, a great number of people have joined this big event to grab the biggest discounts. So far, it has brought an unprecedented high sale volume to Banggood. More than 160,000 orders are brought, which added up a total of $8 million in sales. Now, the blowout sale is coming to the end, but the crazy discounts never end. Here comes the good news that the sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt Encore sale will come after. Which is aimed to make you benefit more at the end of the sale. Now let me show you what you should get in the final offer of the anniversary sale. First of all, the top 10 sellers shopping list sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt what you should not miss. Macedonians have a right to decide how they are to be called, say exasperated Macedonian officials. Moreover, the Greek demands are without precedent either in history or in international law. Many countries bear variants of the same name. Yemen, Korea, Germany until 1990, Russia and Byelorussia, Mongolia. Others share their sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt name with a region in another country. Brittany in France and Great Britain across the channel. For instance, NATO's Bucharest Summit, April 2-4, 2008, was pivotal. It sealed NATO's commitment to encompass and extend its security guarantees to sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt. Ladies tee, long-sleeved, sweater and hoodie. Sad not perfect but 22 Autism ladies tee. Ladies tee. Southeast Europe, the Western Balkans, notably Macedonia, Albania, and Croatia, aka the Adriatic Charter Group, and thus, to completely surround a belligerent Serbia, peeved as it is by Kosovo's unilateral declaration of independence. The summit failed to cement NATO's drive into Russia's borders by inviting Ukraine and other former Soviet satellites to join the alliance's much vaunted Partnership for Peace, and may well herald the Second Cold War. Both Kaczynskis want to get American missiles onto Polish soil as quickly as possible. They sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt believe that participation in U.S. missile defense systems will increase the security bond between Washington and Warsaw, and provide extra insurance against potential Russian aggression. Tusk and his foreign minister, Radek Sikorski, take a different line. They argue, in my view rightly, that missile defense would enhance American security but worsen Polish security. Poland is not threatened by any putative Iranian missiles. If the U.S. installed missiles on Polish soil, it would stoke up Russian hostility to Poland. The Polish government is therefore telling the U.S. that, in return for taking the missiles, it wants new air defense systems, such as Patriot 3, to protect the missile site, agreements from the U.S. to protect the missile base, and American investment in the Polish defense industry. Poland is therefore diverging from the Czech government, which is due to take the radars for the U.S. system and is much more enthusiastic about missile defense. Although public opinion in both Poland and the sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt Czech Republic would rather opt out. Sad not perfect but 22 Autism long-sleeved, even if the U.S. says yes to all the Polish demands, which is unlikely. I doubt that Tusk will sign up to anything so long as George W. Bush is in office. There is considerable mistrust between some senior people in the Tusk and Bush governments. Poland will probably wait till the next president takes office, see what he or she wants to do, and then take a view. That sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt kind of caution would probably in Poland's best interests. Even though the twins will attack the government for going soft on the Russians. Just like Stalin was always right, even when wrong, and his victims were always wrong, even when right. The same kind of dynamics exists between Jews and Goyim. The charter of the Jewish supremacist organization ADL is premised on the notion that in 99% of Jewish-Goyim relationships, Jews must be innocent and Goyim must be guilty. So, it's perfectly okay for Jews to stereotype, demean, defame, and pigeonhole certain groups of Goyim, especially whites, as racist, bigoted, anti-Semitic, paranoid, and/or hateful. But Goyim better not notice general patterns of behavior among Jews, unless such happen to be positive and flattering. As with Stalinism, it is the sheer hypocrisy and contradiction that makes Jewish power so repulsive. Unlike Ivan the Terrible, who ruled openly as an iron-fisted tyrant in the age of czars, Stalin ruled as Secretary General of a republic, committed to sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt. Equality, justice, and liberation. Sad not perfect but 22 Autism Sweater. Sweater. That has now passed. Thank goodness. Butterfly's return is imminent, and the last few days have meant completing the unpacking so that she can actually get into the house with her luggage. The sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt final events in Small Worlds were the farmers market on the 18th of October, which always brings in many visitors, and the setting up of the new window display, which will of course have to stay in place until I return there in late April next year. We had around 60 visitors between 8 a.m. and noon on the 18th. Lovely to see so many people, but very hard work for my young helper and me. Quite a few visitors dropped by to bring gifts and say farewell for the winter, which was a delightful surprise. I was all talked out by the end of the morning. But then there was the window display to set up. In preparation for this, I had been cajoling friends who had come to stay during the summer months to try their hands at 3D jigsaws of buildings. The 53 defenders, who have collectively been sentenced to nearly 400 years imprisonment and 787 lashes, include lawyers arrested for defending their clients, trade sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt unionists asking for their legal rights, environmentalists working to preserve Iran's wildlife, and children's rights activists. These 53 defenders peacefully raised their voices to defend their and our common human rights. Sad not perfect but 22 Autism hoodie. In return, they have been sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirts harassed, humiliated, beaten, denied due process, and subjected to grossly unfair trials. Some have had to helplessly witness their families being harassed. Some have lost their source of livelihood. And some have been caught in a web of court cases on trumped-up charges that overlap and will ensure they are kept behind bars for years to come. Yesterday was International Human Rights Day. Human rights defenders were praised and applauded by civil society and governments alike. As with every year, we heard government representatives making laudatory sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt speeches about the bravery of human rights defenders and the importance of their work. Yet none of the celebrations will amount to any substantial action. This place is known for its dolphins, where you can play with them. You can either embark from Kizimkazi or take a boat ride from Stone Town, which is a World Heritage sad not perfect but 22 Autism Shirt site. To this place, in order to get the maximum swimming enjoyment, you must reach here early in the morning at 6 a.m. After that, the area gets crowded and you will see many boats and numerous swimmers struggling to come close to the dolphins. Staying in Kizimkazi is not a problem. There are budget hotels and high-end hotels, depending on your pocket. Some of the well-known other products